What is up, world? You are in tune to the Know It All broadcast. And of course, you got your usual suspects with you. You got my main man, Tate. Tate in the building. Tate Factor, what's popping, man?
Ma, what's good, man? What's good, Big G? You know, your boy Take Boy Fresh, real blue check in the building. Let's get it.
He called it blue
Yeah,
check.
man. And we got the chat over here popping already. I'm gonna tell you the truth. B Dirt, as much as I love you, man, you gotta chill. Cause honestly, you out the way with this stuff, man. You
No,
out the way. You're
I'm
out the
with B
way.
Dirt. I'm riding with it.
Big
Keep
Big
talking,
G,
B.
what's popping, man? How you doing today?
Hey, man. All I'm saying to everybody that's rocking with us right now, Ahmad Bell, Victorious, is one of the most biased sports fans I have ever heard of and seen in my life, and I'm gonna prove it today on the show. So if
He
you're
can't.
not, he's gonna counteract and counter all kind of points I'm gonna make. But he says, and I want everybody that rocks with us to know, G keeps it real on 3 points. LBJ over MJ. Dak Prescott is boo boo, and Luca garbage because he ain't did nothing.
All of those are
Outside of
opinions.
that, it's compromise.
All of those are your
Hey, hey,
opinions,
hey, hey,
and
hey, hey, man.
What's
The,
up?
the homie Take Boy Fresh keep it real on all points all the time, though. You keep it real on three, I keep it real on all.
you know what? I'm gonna be honest
So,
with you. I love my brother, and I side with him on a whole bunch of stuff. But I'm gonna tell you something. If we know that the world's most diabolical hater and dodger,
so
and the word dodger just getting around trying to change subjects, that's my brother. He's the biggest one. But anyway, we just like to welcome y'all to the show. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, smash the like buttons right now, so that way when we go live, definitely, and hit the follow button, like and follow, so that when we go live, you'll definitely get those notifications knowing that we are here and the know-it-alls are on your TV, on your smartphone, on your laptop, on your iPad. We are here and we're about to get it in today. We got a special show. I'm going to tell you, you see how we started it off? We're going to get it in. I just want y'all to, I want to preface this and say that this is not argument at all. We'll get off of here and
oh,
we're going to be friends and love on each other. But we have strong opinions. So this is going to be one of our most highly charged shows. So we're going to go ahead and get at it. Here we go. And you are in tune to the Know It All broadcast. And man, we gonna get it cracking today. Look, you guys, I think some of the things that we saw, and I just want to start this out, man. Um, Preseason. Um, I know the NFL is just literally want to make more money, and this is the reason why we have a ton of preseason games, man. And I mean, and when we say ton, four is I think way too much. I think two is the number we should be at. You know, you
three.
like three? You
Yeah,
like
three.
three?
It's only three. Only the Hall of Fame teams play 4 games now.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I think two is the number we looking at. You added already another a game. I think it's a lot, man, to put on these professional athletes. Um, and then the injuries that you've seen, throughout, and you've seen people get injured. But I mean, football is a part of the game. So, what do you guys think? I mean, injuries is a part of the game of football. What do you guys think about the preseason games? I'm gonna start with you, G, because you're known to have a whole bunch of highly charged comments. So, talk to me about this, man. What do you think about the number of preseason games that we have in the NFL right now?
Well, right now, because of the current collective bargaining agreement, they're going to play 3 preseason games. However, the NFL is pushing the envelope as much as they possibly can. They're trying to get the regular season up to 18, 19 games. So, of course, if you get 18, 19 game regular seasons and increase the amount of teams that's in the playoffs, you're going to see that preseason drop more and more and more. Hence, even this year, and Tate hit me to this, and I didn't even know, he told me this a while back, that he was like, gee, they don't even make the final cut. They're going to make one cut. They're going to go from whatever they got on the roster to 53 like that last week. And I was like, man, why are they doing that? And it's exactly what I'm talking about. The NFL owners is pushing the envelope to try to get more quality product out on the field because they're trying to make money off of people watching. And right now, today, the people watch the preseason not at the same level as the regular season, but they're watching it because they're looking at the 53-man rosters, at the depth, guys who are up-and-coming players and quarterbacks. Case in point, DTR in Cleveland. DTR, people are ranting and raving about DTR to be the starting quarterback in Cleveland just because of how horrible Deshaun Watson has looked. But not keeping in mind that DTR is playing against second and third team guys. So the issue is that the NFL is pushing the envelope, but we're going to see increase in regular season games, which I'm all for, and decrease in preseason games.
I love that, G, because one thing last night, I went to go watch the Cowboy game. Well, last week I went to go watch the Cowboy game, and it wasn't on, and I was tripping because I had to watch it, the next day on NFL, even on the NFL channel, I network. I still had to watch it the previous day. I mean, the next day afterwards, and I'm saying, man, what's going on? Well, guess what? AT&T has blacked out NBC, and that's where the game was playing on NBC. So, Sean, you're exactly right. This TV money is what they're after, right?
Yeah.
And networks are starting to, literally go down and go under. So they're trying to get this thing up to where they can have more visuals on the whole thing. Tate, how do you feel about this, man? How do you feel about this preseason, and how many games do you think is enough?
Well, they used to have like 5, 4. Now it's down to 3. I think 3 is good because you obviously you're not going to play your starters. The starters don't need 3 preseason games, but your depth pieces and that puzzle, that part of the roster you're trying to figure out needs to be able to kind of show what they can do. And 3 games is not too much for that. I think in a good preseason, your starters get a half. Over the course of 3 games, they get a half, 2 quarters. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it in a minute. The Pittsburgh Steelers first team offense came out 2 drives and out last night. 5 minutes. 5 minutes out. So, injuries is part of the game, but so is good quality depth. So you need at least those 3 preseason games to figure it out. And you got a 90-man roster. So you got probably about 25, 30 guys at most that you're only going to play 2 quarters you need to play. But everybody else, you got to figure it out to try and see who's going to fill out the rest of that roster.
Yeah.
So I love that, Tate, man. I love, and when you start talking about filling out the rest of the roster, for me, I think here's the biggest deal, right? If we're going to do this and you're going to add these extra games, what do y'all think about this? Taking the roster, the amount of people that we could carry up to 60, 63, so that way you can carry extra players just in case people go down.
I agree with it, but and that should be how it balances out. Because if they're playing more regular season games, now the overall revenue for each NFL team increases, right? So they have the ability to make more and more money because now they're putting these people out in regular season games. But the issue is, and it all goes back to them greedy owners, man. The owners are so greedy sometimes, and it's all about them and the revenue that they can make. The revenue share is not even equal in the league. So, and I understand because you have larger market versus bigger market. But if you're going to expand the roster to 60 and 65 players, excluding the practice squad, then absolutely you're going to see the push for more and more and more regular season games. So it should equal out. But them owners always try to do stuff on the slick and on the slide, man. And it happened the last time that the contract came up. And then it happened the time before that. We're old enough to remember when the NFL had scabs for half a season. And they almost lost it. The NFL almost lost their audience and everything because they had bums out there playing and it wasn't the real players. So I'm all for if the games go up. I'm all for the roster going up because I'm always on the side of the players. But the owners have a tendency to be real shady, man, when it comes to that money.
So what do you think about that, Tate? What do you think about actually expanding the rosters if we're going to do, these longer preseason or a longer season? so that way you'll have more players on your roster?
I say we honestly, I say we do away with the preseason. You can, I mean, because you really can figure out that depth in camp. You can figure out your best players, and then just instead of having the preseason games, just go to 18 or 20 games, depending on where they can. You don't have that. You can warm up to it if you got 20 games and you don't have preseason games.
Yeah.
And I do agree with expanding the roster. I think you said 65. I think that's a little too much. Maybe go to 60 and have a 15 practice squad. Yeah, every team has 75 players at their disposal.
That's dope.
I think that's a good number right there.
I like that, Tate. I like it a lot, man. I think that way that you look out for the players in that aspect, and you actually look out for the teams. I mean, it's a win-win. Everybody gets what they want, right? So let's go ahead, man. We just gonna go ahead and switch gears, and we're gonna talk about the NBA because I definitely want to get this in quick. We got some NBA news, man. Talk to me about this, man. How much stock should we put in this Dame unfollows the Blazers story? How much stock should we put in this?
He's poking the bear. All this happening. See, the NBA and the owners and all whatever else that came out and warned these guys about them acting up in the preseason and doing all this little tampering stuff and acting stupid and going against the team to the point to where the NBA is investigating stuff now. There's an actual investigation on the other guy you put in the picture, James Harden, about what he said about the owner of the 76ers. So the deal is these guys want to get to where they want to get. And that's because they want to win the way that they want to win. But the owners ain't crazy. And for Dame to say that he wants to dictate where he goes to Miami, Dame, you ain't that guy. And Miami ain't got the pieces to give them what they need. So, and then James Harden is upset because
let's stay
the
on
owner's
Dame.
a liar,
Let's stay on Dame. We're gonna get on James in a minute. So he's poking the bear, but Tate, do you think he's gonna leave? You think he's gonna get his wish at all? Do you really think he's gonna get his wish?
Dame's gonna get to Miami, man. I have no doubt about it, man. That's just the NBA now. Star players, get to leave when they want to leave. That's how it is now. And I think Dame is just doing what Dame does. Dame is an OG in the league now. In today's league, he's an OG. He's not an old school OG, but he's an OG in the new league. And that's what they do. They do this passive aggressive thing where they unfollow you. They use social media as a tool to get their message out there. And if you unfollow your team and unfollow fans and stuff like that of your team, that's just in a passive aggressive way to try and get what you want. I mean, we've seen NFL players do it. We've seen NBA players do it. That's just today's generation. That's why I say Dame is an OG of today's generation, but he's not an old school OG when guys didn't have social media to have his leverage and use their passive aggressive ways to try and get what they want. Dame will end up in Miami. Miami will end up sending pieces to somewhere else. Tyler Hero, other things like that. And then Portland will get back. Maybe they don't want what Miami has, but you get a third and fourth team involved, they'll get something close to what they want. Dame serves them no good now. He's not on their timeline. They're a young team. They got Scoot Henderson, who's going to play that lead guard role. I mean, let's go ahead and get Dame out of there and get something forward, and let's get on with the season.
Man. So,
facts.
you had already got on it, man. So let's talk about the beard. What's going on here, man? Why do you think he's skipping training camp?
Well, because basically he done told the owner go kick rocks, bro. That's what's going on. Because the deal is that the owner told him that he would get a max extension going to him trading, coming to Philadelphia.
Not the owner, Daryl Morey, the GM.
Daryl Morey, the GM. Daryl Morey told him, you're going to get the max extension going into whatever else, and then we're going to take care of you and do all whatever else. He ain't got it. And so when they had a sit down about the information and saying, okay, look, we're not in position because really, James Harden, you haven't played it to get that, and they're looking out for their best interest because they're looking, okay, we got Maxey we got to take care of. Embiid just got an MVP. for whatever reason, they love Tobias Harris, and I don't get that. But they're saying, okay, you're not worth us giving you a max extension as far as the money and bankrupt our future. We look at you as more as a tradable asset. And so because of that, James Harden said, like I said, he called Morey a liar twice in public, on camera, and it was like, he's a liar. I'll never play for that organization again. I'm sick of this and all whatever else. So he told that man, like I said, with my sign, he told him, go kick rocks, bro. Kick rocks. I'm not going back to Philadelphia. You do what, trade me for whatever, but I'm not going back. I don't care. You do what you do.
Aquatic Life says true, but he still signed a contract. Little would get his way. He should have left a long time ago. He put his timeline with the Blazers, but they have to shut it down. I want to leave. They have to shut down this I want to leave trend. Thomas said, I think G is right that they had a handshake deal, but I think it's possible that Harden started talking to Houston and so that Morey said deals off. Yeah, I think that's true too. Afton, what's going on, Afton? How you doing? Gavin Anthony said, I'm surprised Harden isn't already out of Philly. I'm a little surprised about that too. And Aquatic Life said, I don't know what to say about Harden. Honestly, when it gets down to it, I don't know. When I think about James Harden, I don't see the yesterday's James Harden, but I actually see a different version of him that's very valuable. And, the 76ers could have him or not have him, and they would be all right. I think it's better that he goes somewhere else, especially if his heart is not in the deal. And then if we're talking about Dame, I agree. Aquatic Life said Dame should have left a long time ago. Hey, 110%. Dame should have left. But, Dame's trying to be loyal, trying to stick it out, and it didn't happen. Some things just don't happen. And the good thing about it is being man enough to just stand up and say, hey, I'm going to live with the decisions that I made. But I think Tate is right. They're making
who's at fault? Who's at fault? Is it? Because I want to know what Tate thinks. Because I think that Tate, I don't know. I ain't gonna guess. I think that the GM for 76ers is more wrong than Harden. I think he's wrong. I think he's dead wrong.
So finishing my thought on Dame, I was saying that Dame he bet on himself in Portland. It didn't work, and he using this passive aggressive technique to get out. And I think that does need to stop. Now, Tate, go ahead, answer the question. What do you think? Do you think the owner's wrong, or do you think that James Harden is wrong?
I think it just happens in business, man. James Harden, before last season, the season before last season, that summer, he gave back basically $12 million. He could have made $47 million.
Yes.
He went back and made 35 so Philadelphia could sign more players and make a true championship run. What happened was James, I think they did have a handshake, no contract sign kind of deal in place where Daryl Morey was going to extend James Harden. But we saw James Harden be every other game in the playoffs. We saw Joel Embiid fold in the playoffs. Philly needs more help. He can't give James Harden at age 34 in his current situation a 3-year $180 million contract where he making $60 million a year. You can't do that. James Harden's not that guy anymore. Not anymore. Not that guy anymore. And so I think just like in the real job place, the real job place, your salary is based on what you bring into the table. James Harden not bringing $60 million a year to the table no more. He might have thought last summer that's what he was going to get. And if they had made the championship run, Daryl Moore would have done everything he could have done to keep him. But they didn't. So James Harden's not getting that money because of that. If James Harden had to play good, he'd been getting his money. If James Harden was $60 million James Harden, he would have got his money. But he didn't do that. And now Daryl Moore is like, you had to opt in for $37 million a year, Now he's a trade chip, but Daryl Morey's problem is he wants too much for that trade. He knows James Harden not that good. He think a team gonna give him 2 or 3 first-round picks for James Harden at age 34. Not gonna happen.
Never.
Yeah. Aquatic Life asks, is he still good? Can he still make significant contributions to a good team? I'll let G start that one.
Can he make? Yeah, I mean, he's already changed his game. But the issue is James Harden is James Harden. James Harden melts in the playoffs. James Harden, if for whatever reason, can't get to the conference finals, can't get to the chip. He just can't do it unless he's surrounded by a great team. I think the only chips he's ever made it to is when OKC, when it was KD, Westbrook, him, and the gang was down there balling. They was all babies, but for whatever reason, they hit that second round, and James Harden has a tendency to disappear, especially in big games. Game 7s, go back and look at his stats. Game 6s, and they get popped, and you look up, and James Harden's got 17 points. But all season long, he was killing folks with a step back and got 40 or 50 points. So big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And for whatever reason, James Harden ain't that guy.
What about you, Tate?
Hey, Afton, did you do your best Dorothy? You back home in Kansas now?
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask that. But as far as James can contribute, man, but he's a number 3 now. He's number 3. You need two top end guys to be 1 and 2. So when you need a bucket, and Joel Embiid, I mean, theoretically, you think he's a number 1, and he is his MVP. He folds in the playoffs too. His numbers go down in the playoffs. If you want to get that LB, that Larry O'Brien, you gotta numbers got to go up in the playoffs.
Yeah, not
numbers
backwards.
Can't go down.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Take facts. Kicking facts. Keep kicking facts.
So we have Aquatic Life said teams change, situations change, players get in disputes with ownership. Owners can be difficult as well as players. Owners are difficult, as there ain't no can be. Owners are difficult because they're looking out for the team's sake and not, necessarily the players. Gavin Anthony said the Sixers are trending downward, but now it's like they would have gained much for losing Harden, but there are off the court issues. No defense, famous for the lack of D, and almost proud of it. Yep, he does not play any defense. Afton said, yes, I had to click awfully hard, though, to get back to Kansas.
Had to click them ruby red shoes.
I must have tink, 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 tink.
Gavin said James Harden would fit with the Clippers. I mean,
no.
The Clippers, it's interesting you mentioned the Clippers. The Clippers right now have they've got a TV deal to where they've got their games, TV games, cut in half because they know that the Clippers are going to do load management. So the Clippers are getting rammed right now, by the league. And, hey, he just go down there like G say, he'll be in the land where nobody sees him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like the old school get along gang, brother. We used to watch back in the 80s cartoon, man. They get along gang. There ain't nobody over there. They're not serious contenders, bro. So you just gonna go somewhere and fizzle out and play your career. Come on, bro. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing for sure.
Definitely understand. So we got that in. Tate, this is what we want to talk about real quick, man. We got the track and field games going, man. Give us a little bit on this.
Man, that was supposed to be my final thought, man.
Oh, so we'll talk about that as your final thought a little later. Okay, my bad.
Thank you, sir.
I jumped the gun. I definitely jumped the gun. All right.
Well,
so we talked about last week. We talked about Bryce Young, and we talked about the Carolina Panthers, and we talked about C.J. Stroud, and we talked about all of these new quarterbacks coming in. Micah Parsons had recently tweeted something out that I think is good, and I want to talk about this. He said, I don't know why we put so many expectations on rookies. It takes so long to get adapted to the NFL. Tom Brady destroyed me opening night. You got to just learn and stay positive. Never make the same mistakes twice. How do y'all feel about this comments? And then how do y'all feel about, G has made some real broad statements about starting rookie quarterbacks early. But let's talk about this. If you drafted him when you use draft equity for it, should you expect him to come in and be the guy?
Well, the issue is this: the NFL stands for not for long. NFL is not for long, and that's what's happening. These guys are drafting people, and they're trying to secure their jobs for longer periods of time. But when you look at the success rate of quarterbacks, especially in the NFL, and them jumping in and becoming all-world players right off the bat, it doesn't happen like that. It takes guys time. And if you're picking at the top 10 of the draft board, there's a reason you're picking at the top 10. It's because your team is horrible. You don't have the players. You don't have the depth. You don't have the experience. You don't have the O-line. There's a lot of stuff that you need in order to come in and change the trajectory of that franchise. And so running a guy out there in certain situations, it works. Like I was all for Patty Mahomes year 2 going out there. I was all for my personal quarterback, Kenny Pickett, because Mr. Trubisky was not the guy. So I was like, okay, run him out there. Let's see what he's got, and then give him an opportunity to mature and actually become a player.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck. Yeah, they was horrible when he first started. Peyton Manning and them was horrible. Most rookie quarterbacks are horrible when they first start out. Joe Burrow was horrible his first season. You know, he wasn't horrible. The team around him was horrible. But when you start adding pieces and adding players, then you see, okay, this guy's really got the potential. So there are some guys that, it's not going to happen. It's not going to work out. I'm a big Bryce Young guy. I don't think he's going to be good. So I'm saying moving forward, it is what it is.
Tay, talk to me, man. And in between, Timothy Lyons said NFL teams should know better than drafting a 5'9" quarterback. Didn't they learn from Kyler? I don't think they did. But go ahead, Tay.
Man, shout out to the homie Tim Lyons, man.
Shout out Big Tim.
Yeah, he shared the pod on Facebook and stuff like that. We appreciate you, Tim. Even though you a Bengals fan, man, you a homie, you a brother, and you are part of the know it all crew. But anyway, man, back to these quarterbacks, man. It's different now, man. I mean, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they wanted rookies to sit behind, proven veterans. Mm-hmm. Even if the rookie, obviously the rookie had more talent, they was drafted high, but they want them to learn the game. In today's quarterback world, you got all these 11-on-11 camps. You got all these quarterback trainers and gurus. You got spread offenses starting in high school. Quarterbacks getting way more reps throwing the ball and stuff from high school all the way through. So quarterbacks are theoretically more ready now than they were in our young days. You know what Absolutely. I mean? Where they had to grow into it. But that still doesn't mean every quarterback is ready. That means they may have had the reps, don't mean they're ready. Bryce, I don't think Bryce Young is going to be ready for the physicality of the game. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because when we're talking about physicality of the game, it doesn't just apply to quarterbacks. I want to take a look at 2 defensive tackles that everybody's been celebrating, one from the Eagles, one from the Cowboys, and you see them get dominated, but you got to understand, me and Big G was talking about this, the game is different. Check this out, man. You can see here, my guy from the Eagles on a stunt, he gets beat by a double team, but that's an NFL double team. You know what I'm saying? And then you see Mozzie here get beat. And I mean, that's one of the best linemen in the league. You got to give rookies time, and you got to be patient. The game is much more physical. And like Tay said, finish what you were saying, Tay.
I was just saying to finish the quarterback thought. Not all quarterbacks is ready for the physicality of the game. I mean, like I think Tim said, 5'9", Bryce Young, maybe 195 pounds soaking wet.
Yep.
Man, you seen? I didn't see. I know they got whooped this week by somebody. They only scored 3 points.
Yeah.
Who they play? But last week they played. Who did Carolina play last week? The Jets. And Bryce Young was taking some licks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think in today's game, a rookie quarterback, you can't just throw him in on a bad team and put. If you got a top 5 pick and get a quarterback, you might need to sit that quarterback. He's not going to be your savior that very next season. Yeah. But if you need a quarterback and you draft a quarterback late first round and beyond, and you got a good team around, a good offensive line, good skill position players, you may be able to get someone out that quarterback earlier than you would a top 5 pick going to a 3-14 team.
Yeah, it was 21-19, but Bryce Young didn't have, a heck of a game. If we looked at his player stats, man,
but
he was
Rod,
3 of 6 for 35 yards.
How many times are you going to see a guy, especially a quarterback, when he comes in the league and he is him? How many times are you going to actually see where this guy shows up and you know without a shadow of a doubt, he's the one? We're talking about in our lifetime, maybe 15 guys. Like as soon as they showed up in the league, he was like, oh man, it's trouble. It's trouble brewing, man. Most of those guys, they can't do that, because it's the most elite. It's the most elite of the elite.
There it is. It's the 1%ers. And then I was watching this. This is a show you youngsters might not remember, but it's Joes versus Pros. And me and G was talking about this, and we were saying, man, everybody assumes that they could do this and do that against a professional person, and you can't. There's only certain people in this game that, even speed-wise, people think they're fast. But there's only Chris Johnson, Tyreek Hill, Jamal Charles. There's only a couple of people. If they get a couple of steps on you, they're gone. And speed you got the top speed at every position. Aaron Donald runs a 4.68. You know what I'm saying? 6'1", 250. You know what I'm saying?
He's 285.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So you got the best of the best, the fastest of the fast, from sideline to sideline. And for anybody to think that you could just come into the National Football League and be him is crazy. But there are some people who are the best of the best and the best. It happens. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just not for running a quarterback out there, especially like Bryce Young, who you need time to put a system in place that's going to accentuate how tall he is, his measurements, and give him the opportunity to succeed.
They might not never do it, and that's the thing about it. Carolina might not ever be a playoff contending football team. They might not, but GMs and owners don't have to worry about it because they own the team. But general managers and head coaches attach themselves to players, and see, they're trying to save their job. So some guys like DeMarco Ryans down there in Houston. CJ, he's got a long leash because they handpicked that guy to be the head coach. So CJ Stroud got 2-3 years to get it together. Bryce Young might not make it through this coach. If this coach in 2 years, if they're still trash, they're going to fire the coach. And guess what Carolina's going to be doing? Looking for another quarterback. That's how it works.
Look at this, G. I think Aquatic Life, great comment. The tradition, history is a gradual progression, but the quarterback salary hasn't accelerated the timetable. Have to win before the second contract. Fans and owners are impatient too. He's absolutely, positively right. That money has got people like, hey, I'm paying you, I'm backing up the Brinks truck. You need to make sure that you give me what you got before we get to the next one. What's up, Claude? Afton said fans seem to love savants, and that's what owners are trying to get, ready or not. And you're not going to get a whole bunch of savants. Caleb Williams may be one of those guys that you could plug and play, but you're right, Afton, there's not a whole bunch of plug and play people. Tim P said Bryce Young can't see over the line. The announcer said it during the game yesterday. Timothy Line said my quarterback is better than Dak. Okay. He said Joe Burr, Cole. Aquatic Life said Young is nice, smart, but too small. Has the right coach though. Better have a monster O-line. If he had a really good O-line, I think he would be well protected and he could do some things. I mean, think about it.
If it was a fifth, we'd all be tipsy, and that's that. We can't play. That's the whole thing about NFL. You can't say what if. It's what is actually happening.
And Carolina traded away draft capital to move up to get Bryce Young. So
it's
going to be a challenge for them to get some of that O-line talent that they need because what they had to give away to try and get Bryce Young.
Facts.
Facts,
Facts.
Tate.
Definitely good stuff there, man. Um, and let's talk about this. Let's go ahead and switch gears to the next subject here, and that's the preseason football game that we saw between the Steelers and the
Hey,
Bills.
Mod. Can we request that you go ahead and talk about the Cowboys first? Get that loss out of the way, and let us revel in our victory.
So we can be hypercritical. Go
Well, we
ahead,
can
man.
talk about the Steelers and the Cowboys. Listen, I did my recap last night. That's kind of like on FFSN. Definitely it's kind of getting a lot of attention. Jumped up. I looked up this morning, and a lot of people will listen to it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I loved what I saw. First and foremost, my heart breaks for DeMarvion Overshawn and for Stevens Jr. These were two promising kids. Stevens Jr., a 6'6" tight end, was getting on. He's getting a lot of tick, making some good plays. Gone with an ACL, a left leg. DeMarvion Overshawn, which was playing outside of his mind during the preseason and having a wonderful camp. Gone with an ACL. Those things had me kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? I really sat down on the game. The other thing is, I'm happy about Deuce Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy about what I'm seeing out of Deuce. I think Deuce is done enough to make the 53-man roster. I think he'll be the third running back. Rico Dowdell has stepped up and made his case for the second. I mean, when you can block and keep your quarterback clean, that's important. That's definitely important as a running back. So I like Rico Dowdell. Last thing is we talked about Mozzie Smith. You can't expect defensive tackles to be flash. Aaron Donald is that dude. He's different. You know what I'm saying? He's different. He's a guy who, when you think about it, is unlike any other defensive tackles you see most of the time. Big G put some names out there, but Casey Hampton, the big guy y'all got in the middle, the big guy Fletcher Cox for the Eagles. These are established veterans. You know what I'm saying? And it's different. It takes a while for you to learn the game in the trenches, like offensive linemen, defensive tackles. It takes a while for you to learn the game in the trenches. Last thing I'm gonna say, and then we'll jump to the Steelers. I'm really proud of Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert had a great camp. He's wide receiver 4. Big G think he may end up being 3. I don't think he gets Gallup, but he's wide receiver 4. Jalen Tolbert definitely is one of those guys, and proof why you shouldn't just give up on a player after their first year. You know what I'm saying? You need to give a player at least 2 years in the NFL to see where he's at. My personal opinion is that the offense around Kellen Moore was way too difficult for Jalen. When you simplify, when you have certain type of football players, letting them just read and react is the best thing for them. Especially if they're athletic, long range, do what they do. Let them read and react. When they don't have to think a lot, that's the thing that gets them to the place where they can use their athletic giftings and their athletic talents. Other than that, I mean, of course, we lost the game last night. It's a preseason game, but I loved what I saw. We didn't run anything out there except 2s and 3s. They had their 1s and 2s out there for the first half of football. We ran nothing out there but 2s and 3s.
They only had Geno. On offense, they had Geno Smith and one offensive guard that started, and Jackson Smith and Juka.
No, their whole offensive line started. Their whole offensive line started for the first 2 series. I watched the game, bro. Their offensive line started for the first 2 offensive series. Then they left, and then their 2s and 3s played for the second quarter and the third quarter. But what I'm saying is, my whole thing is to see that, and we ran no 1s out. None of our 1s touched the field at all. I was really happy about what I saw with the squad. Now it's up to you guys. Let's talk about it, man. Yeah.
Dak not getting no work this preseason at all?
I don't think he gets any work against the Raiders.
I don't think so either if he didn't play in this game.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting march him out there next game, the last game of playing.
I don't think none of our 1s is going out there during the preseason. And I mean, shoot, we just lost DeMarvion. I mean, and we lost Jefferson. We've lost 2 of our backup linebackers. And it's hey man, you don't want that injury bug to catch you, man. Everybody else needs these reps. Everybody else needs these reps. Let's Kevin Afton said real quick. If y'all haven't watched the jersey retirement ceremony, check it out. When they played the Immaculate Reception, the crowd cheers. It was awesome. You guys got to check that out.
Yeah. It was lit up. It was lit up, man, for sure. I saw it already, Afton. Great call.
Definitely. So we got the Steelers versus the Bills. Talk to me, you guys. What y'all see in this game?
Tay, boy, hit him first, man, because I got some stuff to say. Go ahead, man.
Yo, Dre, I got some stuff to say. Let's get it.
I saw everything I needed to see, man. That first team offense came out there, went down the field. Kenny made a nice second down throw to George Pickens to keep the sticks moving.
Yes, sir.
On the left side.
Yes, sir.
Against obviously against Buffalo starters. Then it was a 3rd and 7. He hit a throw to AR Allen Robinson Jr.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Then Jaylen Warren just bust one. We see what I've seen in Pittsburgh's first 2 preseason games. I didn't see it all last year. Think about it. That first game against Tampa Bay, George Pickens and Kenny Pickett connected from like 35 yards out.
Mm-hmm.
Jaylen Warren took you 62 yards to the house.
Uh-huh.
Kenny Pickett hit Pat Fryermuth for a 25-yard touchdown. We got all these big plays for scores. We didn't have that last year.
Correct.
We had to methodically drive down the field and put up a field goal probably. You know what I mean? So,
and this is why I really believe that they're better than 2 to 3. They're 2 to 3 games better than they were last year.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. But so I saw that. I saw what Calvin Austin can do on punt return.
Oh my God! Yes,
like that. Big
yes,
G.
Sir.
He didn't catch a touchdown, but Darnell Washington put the fear of God in the NFL. He had 2 pass interference calls in the end zone. He's a problem down there, man. It's
major problem.
It's just like posting up Shaq on the block back in the day in basketball. I mean, these dudes look like they was trying to fight a giant when both was Mitch Trubisky throws, but he lofted it up. And Washington get ready to go for the ball, and those guys just all in his chest trying to push him. They can't do nothing with him.
He's 6'7", Tate.
Exactly. 270. So I saw that. I saw the first team defense come in and go 3 and out on the first series of the game. So I saw a lot of stuff that I liked. I let Big G comment on what he thought even about the first team and the rest of the game. But yeah, I saw enough. Next week we go to Atlanta. You won't see none of them ones. None.
Sit on the bench. And just stretch. Just stretch and get some Gatorade in you and all whatever else. Hey, but man, listen. This is the deal. What I'm seeing out of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I haven't seen this in a long time, even at preseason, is effort, man. Everything matters. Every down, every play, by every player.
Okay.
Effort. Maximum effort, bro.
As I see it say effort, but like it could say ettort.
No, effort. EFFORT. Effort.
Yeah, you got to make them F's a little better, Big G.
I like the effort. But they are giving effort. And everybody is fighting for a job. I've said it already. I've said it on multiple different podcasts, including right here, that the Pittsburgh Steelers might have the hardest 53-man cut that they've had in the history of their team.
Gee, I have to second that emotion. Cowboys too. This is when you have environments like that causes everybody to play for their job. So that's why you get those funnels of effort and people fighting because they're all going for it.
Well, see, what effort does and what a lot of folks don't know is effort creates culture. And once you have a culture and the expectation is to win, now everybody knows what they got to do every week. Mike Tomlin has always carried that banner.
Hey, Big G.
Yes, sir.
I think you got the cart before the horse. I think culture dictates effort. Effort don't dictate culture. The culture that you come into dictates like, oh, they do it a little different here. We better really be working and running through the line and running through drills and
Yeah,
all that stuff because you come in, it feels different.
I'm buying that take. But I think they're interchangeable too. I think you can't have one without the other. And I think at this point now, Pittsburgh has talent that matches effort. We got some guys, man, that are going to make big time plays this season, including rookies. Like Tate, you already hit it on the head about Washington.
The comment right there, her big too.
Herbig.
Man, I said it. We said it.
Yeah.
At draft time. This is the best draft the Steelers have had in a generation.
In a generation. Maybe in 20 years, 25 years, easily. This is the best draft. But even those rookie, the veterans that they brought in, Keanu O'Neal, Patrick Peterson, these guys are coming in and looking and like, wait a minute.
Siamalu.
Yeah, Siamalu. Max effort, man. And that max effort is going to propel us a lot farther than what people think. And by the way, Kenny Pickett, he is him, bro. He is him. That dude is about to level up like you ain't seen in a long time. What we say
on the homies Friday about him? What's the clip I played?
Man, okay, you said a lot on Friday, bro.
I'm
you
saying
had me hyped up on Friday.
The clip I said, that's a bad white boy, man.
That's a bad.
From Remember the Titans.
Sunshine, man. Kenny Pickett, he is him.
Right.
I'm telling all the listeners, all the people, this ain't no bias thing. You can see the level up from Pickett. You can see what's going to happen. You can because I even though I play with this in the division of Steelers and that's my squad, I got mad respect for Joe Burrow. And I remember seeing the same thing on Burrow. I was like, man, Burrow's him. And he about to level up. And he did exactly what I said. I see the same thing with Pickett. He about to level up, man. And it's the play of the overall play of the team. Pittsburgh going to be dangerous. You don't want no parts of us. You don't want no parts of us. I can't wait to see what we do this next
Hey, man, sweet T talking to you. Lamar Thomas comment.
What he said?
He said, man, y'all cats get so excited, pipe down, it's preseason. And then
what's the Cleveland Browns doing in the preseason? Trash.
Timothy Lyons said, y'all better hold that judgment until real football starts against first teams. And then Lamar Thomas says, ain't nobody scared to pick it. I think they should be, though. I think they should be. I would agree that he's ready. And
I don't think scared of him. Just respect him. Just respect
give him some respect. Him and Pickett together is a double up, and we're gonna really that's helping us to transition into our next thing, man. Fantasy football. Who should be number one? Well, listen, you're talking to three former champs. I can't even lie to you. You probably should have won this year, man.
Something happened. I'm still feeling some kind of way, man.
Something happened that kind of changed it. You might have been a two-time champ. Like Tate, I'm only a one-time champ. You're only a one-time champ. We got trophies. We got belts. So who do you think should be first in fantasy football this year? Who do you think should be first? We're not going to give y'all all the game because some of the people who play with us is probably watching. So we can't give away the whole game. Ain't gonna give away the form. But who do you think? Who do you think should go first in fantasy this year?
Man, I think a lot of the publications and everybody, in magazines and fantasy football prognosticators, stuff like that. A lot of them is on the Justin Jefferson train, man. But Big G got his book so we can try and keep up. I don't worry about it, man. Everything I need to know for fantasy and value in fantasy, it's up here.
What'd you finish last year?
I finished dead last for the first time ever in my life last year.
It's facts.
For the worst season I ever had. It all started with that auto draft pick of Trey Lance in the 4th round. I was like, oh, it was over. Then I got Russ, and Russ had a bad season. Yeah,
man, Rusty was. Rusty hurt me, man. I had Russ in some leagues, and he hurt me. First of all, let me help you with something. Timothy Lyons, let me go on and quieten that. I never said he wasn't top 5. I said the Bengals will have a step back this year. Get your facts right.
Oh,
said the
Burrow,
Bengals
Burrow
will.
definitely top 5. That's what y'all
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
But my number one
Step back.
overall fantasy pick, if I had the draft pick, and a lot of people may not agree with me because it's not what you see in the books. It's just what I think about the guy the offense is going to go through with a lot to prove this year, and that's Saquon Barkley. He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder.
Ooh,
The Giants don't play good without him. I think
ooh.
we're talking about 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns this year. So, yeah, I got to roll with Saquon Barkley with my number one pick. In any league, I mean, if I have the number one pick, I'm looking at Saquon. I'm highly considering Saquon Barkley as my number one overall pick.
I like it, Tate. I mean, I like it because, not only will he get rushing money, he going to get money from receiving too, man. Only thing is and the Giants, I don't think it's going to blow nobody out. So he's always going to be getting carries all the way from the beginning to the end of the game. So I like that. I like Big G. No, you ready. You've been showing your books and your publications over there. No, you ready, man. No, you ready.
What Tate Boy Fresh stole my guy that I was talking about. If I had to go number one, I would take Saquon number one. So just to be different, there's another guy who I think that teams slip on his value and what he brings to the table as far as fantasy football. And I will preface to say this. Any of you guys that's out there that's talking about taking a wide receiver number one, get ready to finish last in your league. Because running backs are premium. You better go running back. You better all day and night go running back. Because by the time you get to the third round, they all gone. The ones that's going to actually matter. However, going back to what I'm saying, is a premium guy that deserves to have a hard look at number one is Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler for the last 3 seasons has killed in fantasy football. He gets passes out the backfield. He gets rushing yards. I like that guy. If I had to pick a top 2 or 3 running back, I'm taking Austin Eckler. Because he almost guarantees you, as long as he doesn't get hurt, he guarantees you a trip maybe to at least the playoffs, as far as fantasy football is concerned. So, but you wide receiver, you done lost your mind.
Yeah, totally. I think there's so many of them, and there's so many double ups that you could get this year. You got to go. But first, let me address Timothy Lyons again. Listen, Tim, love you. Appreciate you for being in the chat, man. I don't have any Bengals hate. You know what I'm saying? I had to work this out, so let me work this comment out. I'm flesh it out again. I said this. This is what I said. I said, when it comes down to it, the Bengals have the worst defense in that division. You can argue me all you want to. They have the worst defense out of the Steelers, the Browns, and the Ravens. Keep arguing. That's fine. Then the other thing is I said they'll take a slip because of the simple fact that Deshaun is going to come out here balling this year. The Browns are going to be better. The Steelers are going to be 3 games better than they were. Look, Mike Tomlin, he'll take a grilled cheese sandwich and make it gourmet, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. So,
you did say that the Bengals was going to finish last in the division.
And I'm saying it. I'm still saying it, and I'm saying it with my chest. I'm going through the 3. The Browns got the best defense in the division, and Deshaun Watson ain't gonna come back.
The Browns got the best defense in the division.
They've got the best. They have the best defense in that division.
Stop it. The Pittsburgh Steelers have the best defense in that division.
Okay, the Browns are the Steelers. The Browns are the Steelers. But I said what I said. The Bengals have the worst one. so let's go on and get that there. The second thing, like I said, the Browns are going to be good. They're going to be better. They're third. The Steelers are going to be at least 2 to 3 games better, right? And the Ravens, I think Lamar has comeback player of the year written all over him. He's going to be good. They're going to be the best in that division. So I have the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns. That's what I said, period, point blank. I have no Bengals hate, and that's logic. That's me saying that even though you got Orlando Brown Jr., you still have offensive line problems and you got safety problems. So if Joe Burrow, he's thrown some interceptions. So if he gives the other team more chances to possess the ball, your defense is more likely less likely to stop that offense, especially if they done did their
What
due
what
diligence
what
and
what
homework.
what were the Bengals last year? They played 16 games. Were they 12-4? I think that's what they were.
Exactly. That was their. Well, they had that one that
Yeah,
didn't
yeah. I
count.
said they lost one of their games, so they're 12-4
Yeah,
because they won the
exactly.
division. And I
Yes.
think 10-7 is a fall off, and it could get you. They could get you third or fourth place in the AFC North this year. It
Yeah,
could.
it could, but I don't think it will. Like I said, y'all, this division, this AFC North division, is like that. It's like if anybody, you don't
It's the
know
best division
football.
of football. It's the
You
best
you don't
division
know
of football.
football if you don't think that AFC North is not like that. That's a proving ground for champions, and there's going to be a good team that's set at home this year, like it or not. And I know y'all both
It
agree
ain't the
with what I'm
Bengals.
saying.
It ain't
There's
the
going to be
Bengals.
a good team that's set at home this year, and
It
and
ain't the
and
Bengals.
I tell you, I tell you where I'm not saying I agree with Mod, but I tell you where I think it's a possibility is the Bengals. The Bengals do have the fourth defense in the North. I agree with that. The Bengals' best offensive package is 11 personnel
And the best
with
in the league.
Jamar Chase, T Higgins, and I'm just saying that might not always fly in the North when we get to November and December. You got to be able to change and adjust. So it could be. I mean, that could be something that we'll see how it's dealt with when the time comes. But just the fact that I don't see them running the ball like that. I like Joe Mixon, but I don't see Joe Mixon being necessarily a 1,000-yard rusher a given. You know what I mean? So it goes to the recipe of how you cooking to win these games. I mean, Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow got to come up maybe with something a little different. They just can't come out in 11 personnel and I just think come out and throw on everybody all season long.
yeah,
But that's what they've done for 2 years. They have the best 11 personnel in all
I
football.
agree with you, but I think the league may catch up to you. You know how it is when you get enough film on stuff like that and stuff like that.
and Big
And
G,
12
you the
and
main
12
one
and 4,
talking.
12-4 was a great record, so I could see a step back. 11-6, that's not a bad season.
Yeah.
But the
But
division
and Big
just
G,
so
you the
tough.
main one talking about copycat league. You got to know that people are sitting with the clicker on this thing and they ready. And I'm trying to tell you,
I sit with the clicker, so I'm clicking.
yeah.
I'm watching film and clicking.
So-
So yeah, I get it.
So it's not like that. But back on my fantasy, I just had to address Tim because because he said I don't be addressing his comments. I had to address him. Back on fantasy, if you take a wide receiver in the first round, I'm questioning anybody outside of Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill. But even that, I'm questioning because you can literally find.
If you're in a 12 or 14 team league and you pick them like 9, 10, I can
Mhm.
see that.
I can see that.
But we talking about top 3 is what
Yeah.
we was getting at.
Yeah. You definitely. I'm not giving away the form, but I'm gonna tell you for those who are listening and watch on repeat. If you don't go running back first in the first 3 rounds, you are in trouble. You're in a world of hurt. But there's so many double ups that you can get because there's so many good wide receivers in this league right now. You got some double ups that you can get. I mean, Derek Carr with Olave and Thomas. You know what I'm saying?
Mike Thomas.
Mike Thomas. Yeah. You
Mike Thomas.
they're
For
double
all
up.
of those that's out there, Mike Thomas is back, y'all.
But what I'm
Believe
saying
me.
is you got double ups on teams. There are a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? There ain't just one receiver per team like it usually is. There's 2, 3 sometimes in some certain cases. Jacksonville got 3 wide receivers that you better be looking at. You know what I'm saying?
Seattle.
Seattle. They got 3 wide receivers, and you got to know wide receivers are plenty. You better go running back.
But see, it's also chess, not checkers. There's a deeper level of thought going to it. You pick a quarterback. If you pick a quarterback that's going to be on a losing team and playing from behind a lot, you think about that. You know what I mean? Like they sorry, but they're gonna be losing. They're gonna be trying to pass to keep up.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So you take all those different factors in consideration when you're trying to build your fancy roster. Me and Big G in the same league. I'm gonna tell them right now, Big G, I'm building my team around Saquon Barkley and Justin Fields. They're my top 2 players.
Hey, you better hope you pick before me, because that's who I'm going after, bro. That's all I'm saying, because we great minds think alike, bro. We trying to get the chip. So I done took a strong look at both of them boys. You know, it's a lot going on.
And speaking of which, you guys, one of the things that my league is my main league. If I don't get in it with you guys this year, my main league, if the loser of that one has to dress up like Scuba Steve, and go eat a meal at a restaurant. So if you lose, not only you're losing something else. You're losing your dignity. They had to take a pie in the face last year. Thankfully, I wasn't that guy.
You need to implement corner time into the league. you need to implement corner time in there. That needs to be some corner time jumping off over there, man.
Hey, man. I mean, they keep looking at all of these things that you wouldn't believe some of the things that some people have to do in a loser league. You know what I'm saying? In a league like that they got to do if you lost, if you're the last place person in your fantasy. And I'm so glad that I haven't been last place.
Hey, man, I was in two Big G in these signs, man. It's getting ridiculous.
Corner time, bro.
I was in 2 leagues last year. One my own, which we've done for probably about 7 or 8 years now. Ma was in it at the beginning. That's when he got his championship. He ain't been in like the last 3 years or something like that. Maybe
I'm trying to come back though. Back.
But it's full. Let somebody drop out. I got you on lock and load. But last year is the first year ever. I used to make the playoffs every year. I used to win championships. I used to make playoffs every year. Last year in both my leagues, one of them in my barbershop league was $200 a man. And now that was my first time because they knew how good I was in my other leagues. They let me in. Now I ain't even got the invite back. They was like, Tate, man, you sorry, man. They don't want you back. I literally was 2-0-1 and then proceeded to lose like 10 games in a row to finish the season in that league. And I was last in my own league. And so I'm just saying, man, that this year I'm back for blood, Big G.
Yeah,
we already got things set. Our draft is the Sunday night before Labor Day. I believe that's Sunday the 4th, something like that.
Yeah. All I know is if you get Russell Wilson on your fantasy football team, you're going to suck again. That's all I know, because Rusty is washed.
I think Russ going to be better this year, but no, I'm not trying to pick Russ. And even last year when I got Russ, I traded for him. I didn't pick him. Wasn't going to pick Trey Lance. I was ready to get Jalen Hurts in the 4th round and auto pick Trey Lance. And then he was garbage the first game against the Bears in Chicago. It was a monsoon out there. Then week 2 he got hurt. Now I'm scrambling. No quarterback.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go, man. Parting shots. We gonna get to it. Big G, you up first, baby.
All right, man. So I done known about it for a while. I can't say I knew about it before Zach Smith. Shout out to Zach Smith on Minister Society and Minister Sports, man, because he had the nerve enough to call it. I was told I had to sit on it. I was told I couldn't say anything about it, but I don't even care anymore. I'm putting it out there. Devin Brown is starting quarterback for Ohio State. It's not Kyle McCord. It's not West Dakota Heisman. It's not none of those guys. Devin Brown is going to start quarterback for Ohio State. He's going to run out there with number 33 on like Sammy Ball, like how we knew back in the day for the great Buckeye players. And I'm going to tell you something. There's something different about this kid. There's something a little bit different. He's not going to be a statue. He can run on the fly, and he's going to scare some people because when the play breaks down, he's going to tuck it and go. So I'm telling you right now, you can mark it on the show, mark the time, whatever. Devin Brown is going to start quarterback for The Ohio State University. And let's go Bucks. Let's go Bucks.
Well, so J-Steve, what's up, partner? How you doing, man? He said we're going to do a live fantasy draft show. No, we're not, but we'll definitely talk about fantasy football a lot, man. That's our bag. I mean, 3 champions. If it's somebody, I'm going to be real with you. I bow down to these 2. I hate losing to both of them. Usually, and the first time I won it was me and Sean in the finals, and I got him, and I was happy, and I rubbed it in. He knows how much I rubbed it in. He hated it, but it was what it was. And Tate,
Trash.
Tate's always there. Tate's a real dude. When he speak, I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? And
Hey
last year,
man,
last
hey
year
man,
I got Rusty. I ended up getting Rusty thinking about it, and me and him, had to deal with subpar quarterback play for the rest of the year. I'm gonna tell you something about fantasy football. If you get caught at the first of the year with subpar people, you're done. It's over with. You can't. You try to like piece it in and then do some trades. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So you
hey
have to
man, hey
really
man.
put in your work in the very
Ma,
beginning for your draft.
you absolutely right, because one of the dudes in our league drafted both Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. We got like the weeks before the trade deadline, week 7, 8. I put a package together. I gave up a lot to get Josh Allen and try and make one last run, but it didn't help because I started so bad. It was a wrap.
It was a
And
wrap.
that's what I want to say about it. And that's what I'm saying, amen. Man, the issue with Tate is a good fantasy football player. But Tate, man, you got to keep your eyes on Tate. You got to watch Tate. You got to watch Tate on that cut roster. And you got to watch Tate is always, his superpower is he's always trying to work a deal. And Tate, when Tate senses weakness on somebody else in the fantasy football league, that dude will pound that thing and he ain't going to let off of it. And look, he plants seeds early. So, like, we'll be drafting and he'll call one of his players trash. He'll be like, oh, that was a good pickup. Because what he's trying to do is plant a subliminal message when he comes back around the horn. He's trying to get that dude, man. So you got to watch Tate, man.
Listen,
I know I done played with this dude for years.
Here's the thing about what you said. Here's the thing about what you're saying. It's true, but you know it because you're the same person. You will sit there and try to finesse somebody. You'll try to finesse somebody till the cows come home, and then laugh about it after you did it. You're wrong. Thomas said we're in like year 4 of the Russ is gonna bounce back season. We're right. You're right. B Dirt, what's up, baby? Great show, fellas. All 3 get game balls this week. Thank you.
Thanks,
After said thanks for another show. Aquatic Life says thanks for another show.
And everybody out there in the live chat, be sure to hit the like button.
Make sure you hit the like button. Tate, parting shots, baby.
Yeah, man. This is where you pull up the Star Athletic image. I want to give a shout out to my brother-in-law and the Star Athletic team, man. They over in Budapest right now at the World Championships. Sha'Carri ran earlier today, won her heat in the 100 meters. She'll be competing in the 100, 200. You got Kenny Bednarik right there competing in the 200 meters. He's an Olympic silver medalist last Olympic. You got Jerome Blake and Noah Brown from the Canadian team. Aaron Brown Aaron Brown, not Noah Brown. I was thinking of Noah Lyles, but yeah, Aaron Brown, I believe, won the silver in the 100 in the last Olympics. You got TT Terry competing in the women's 100. This is his team that he's over in Budapest with right now. So shout out to my brother-in-law Dennis Mitchell. Good luck to all them guys. You can check out all these different races on NBC and NBC Peacock. I watched a few of them earlier today already. Like I said, Sha'Carri won, I believe the women's 100-meter semifinals and finals is Wednesday night. Be sure to check that out. So yeah, just support the athletes, support the USA, and let's get it. As far as the track goes, what you say, Mom?
Yeah, I'm sitting here and I'm upset because remember I told y'all, guess what? They took my NBC away, and I can't watch some of this stuff. So I
didn't take NBC away.
Hey man, I don't know. Let's ask AT&T.
It's like a whole free network. Like
they took it away. Like I found out this today. I would have to unplug from cable, go to digital, and give me a digital antenna to actually watch NBC because AT&T has blocked out the whole freaking station. It's crazy.
Hey, man, that's because you're dealing with AT&T cable, man. Get you some good old fashioned Verizon cable.
You know the problem why I can't do that?
Why?
Because the only thing offered in our area is, guess what? Ding, 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 ding. AT&T. Can't. I've even asked, can I get somebody else other? No, you cannot. Hey, you're on mute.
One of the best cable provider over here in in the DMV is Verizon Files. You can also get Comcast. But I got all the streaming services too, man. But I keep that cable with that landline plugged in. That means something. When everything else might be buffering or not working like that, I go to cable. But I got Amazon, I got Peacock, I got Apple TV, I got Amazon Prime. I got them all. So,
Big G, you're on mute.
And he's saying a lot.
He's saying a lot.
Shout out to Tate for putting me up on the Fire Stick game. It was installed yesterday, baby.
You got
we
it?
all the way in, Tate. I ain't missing nothing. I ain't missing nothing, man. All the way in, man.
Lowe said praying for y'all above everything. Success. Keeping forward.
Thanks, Jesse Lowe, man. My old school classmate, man.
And Aquatic Life says female decathlon, U.S. first winner since Jackie Joyner Kersey, I believe. That's dope.
Yeah. No, she actually got a silver medal, I believe. But she's gonna be favored for the gold in the Olympics. And Jackie Joyner Kersey said that this woman, I forgot her name, she's next up in the decathlon, the next great. And so I kind of keep up with this stuff. I married into a track family, so it's track is the thing they follow. Even if I didn't, it's gonna be on TV, and so I see it.
Yeah. So here you go, man. I have
OHIO. I see that.
Hey, man, Devin Brown gonna wear number 33.
33.
That's gonna look odd.
And he gonna be out there getting dubs.
Gonna wear number 33. I'm gonna tell you my parting shot before I get into just a good farewell on here, man. I'm gonna tell you guys. Here's my thing, right? I like being I definitely like listening to everything, and I don't discredit stuff, right? And I mean, we're all gonna have our strong opinions about things, and having your strong opinion about something is cool. But when you put out facts, and people always say men lie. I say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And then they say numbers can be manipulated. That's a little comeback statement. But it is what it is, right? And I heard an interesting argument. This is another reason why I don't like Shady as a reporter in this space. And I just wanted to play this and what you guys, and know what you guys, I want to hear what you guys think about this. And I'm going to ask Big G and I'm going to ask Tate. And then, of course, I want the chat to respond. Here we go.
I took disrespect. No. I did.
This is disrespectful to Justin Fields, right?
Okay.
Number one, we talk about arm talent. His arm talent is better than Jalen Hurts, right? His arm talent is better than Jalen Hurts.
Wait.
He's faster, more explosive. His running ability is better than Jalen Hurts.
Hold on.
He does not have A.J. Brown. He does not have Devontae Smith. He does not have Dallas Goedert. He does not have that offensive line in front of him. He did not have Miles Sanders last year.
He didn't.
Right? If I was to tell you these are the number of an MVP quarterback, 22 touchdowns, right? 3,700 yards. He in the MVP conversation. Y'all would be like, what?
Who?
You understand what I'm saying? Justin Fields threw 17 touchdowns. Who was he throwing to, Shady?
I don't know.
Wait, No. I'm just saying.
Well, you said, but you're misleading America.
Hurts threw 22.
How's he misleading America?
What did he do?
He didn't say anything about the rushing yard.
All right, so the essence of the argument, chat, is that Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts are comparable quarterbacks, right? And that Justin Fields will have a successful year with the type of weapons that he's getting put around him. And Shady, of course, no way possible. So I want to hear your take on this, Tate, and briefly, and I want to hear your take on this, G, before we get into my parting thoughts.
What? Give me a question. Ask me a question.
Do you think that these two quarterbacks are comparable, and that their stats, because their stats are so comparable? Do you think they're comparable?
Jalen Hurts accounted for, I believe, like 30 plus touchdowns, 35 touchdowns last year. Led his team to the Super Bowl in a game they should have won. He probably played his best game of the year in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback right now than Justin Fields. Justin Fields has a higher ceiling. That's pretty much what I'm gonna stick with. I mean, I think Shady just trying try and keep it 100, and keep it real. I don't dislike him as a voice in the sports media. I think I would guess, I don't know. I would guess some of your disdain for him comes from he always hating on Dak. So I think that's probably why you don't like him.
Facts.
Yeah. So again, G, what are your thoughts? Do you think that they're comparable? And let me read these. Aquatic Life says they're comparable. Aquatic Life says also get loud because that means what you're saying is true. But he said, how is that arm though? Okay, I get it. And Thomas laughed. So what is your thoughts here, Big G? Do you think they're comparable at all?
First of all, I know who Justin Fields is. He's one of the homegrown Buckeyes. I've been rocking with Justin for a long time. And I also know who Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts is better than Justin Fields. Maybe higher ceiling. I don't know about all of that. But what I do know
My question is, are they comparable?
No. Jalen Hurts is the number one quarterback in the NFC, hands down. It's not close. He's numero uno. He's him. He's number one. Justin Fields can he improve? Absolutely. But guess what? Let Justin Fields go out there and win 6 and 7 games this year. They're going to be talking about trading him, getting another quarterback, bringing somebody else in. Does he have the potential to level up? Absolutely. He can level up this season. He's got weapons. But comparable? No, because he hasn't shown me anything on the field as of today. Jalen Hurts has. He showed me that since the day he came in. So my thing, you guys, chat, tell me if I'm lying. Philadelphia has a top 5 offensive line. Probably a lot of people will say the number 1 offensive line in the league, correct? 49ers.
Correct, Tate?
San Francisco 49ers.
The Eagles have a top 3 offensive line. You're right.
Okay. And they have a top 5 receiving core. Is that correct?
Maybe.
They have a good receiving core.
Top 10.
Okay. And he was saying that they had Miles Sanders, who at the time statistically was a top 5 running back.
No, Miles Sanders has never been a top 5
and
running
they had
back. Never.
Statistically was a top 5
Never
and
been statistically.
They had a top 5 defense. So what the point was here, and this is what I thought was interesting. The point is that if you traded the two and put them on different, that the results would be comparable. That's why I say that they're comparable, because this man threw for 17 touchdowns. He threw for 22. This man rushed for 1,000 yards. This man rushed for 700.
Jalen Hurts played 12 games. Justin Fields played 17. You're leaving 5 games out. You're omitting facts. That makes a difference.
That's not omitting facts.
Oh, yes, it is. If you add 5 games into what he would have done, he only played 12 games.
You keep saying if. We're talking about what was done.
Bro,
you can't say if because you're jumping in there.
It's not apples to apples if you're using a 17-game sample size against a 12-game sample size. And I think Justin Fields is faster than Jalen Hurts. I mean, Jalen Hurts is a strong runner from the quarterback position. Justin Fields is a game-breaking runner from the quarterback position.
Yeah, man.
Facts. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I just think that they're comparable, and I don't like when somebody can't be open enough to actually see what's being said and say, you know what, that's comparable. It's comparable. But do I think Jalen Hurts is better right now? Right now, he's better.
Is Jalen Hurts the best quarterback in the NFC?
He's 1A. Dak has to prove it.
Dak is not up there with him, man.
Dak has to prove it. He's 1A.
That's what this argument is about. That's what this argument is about.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's really not. When I heard it,
shady hate too. That's the shady.
When I heard it, well, Shady deserves it.
Bias,
when I heard it, I thought it was a great argument.
Bias sign. Bias right there, man.
When I heard it, I thought it was a great argument. Aquatic Life says, but Shy has been dysfunctional. Now they have a squad supposedly. Doesn't mean he'll win, but if he has a better line, he could have a great year. Definitely.
If they don't win, if they don't go 9-8, if they don't go 8-9, 9-8, 10-7. They're going to be trying, dog, I'm telling you, this is what have you done for me lately league. They're going to be calling Justin Fields a bust. I'm telling you, I know football. That's what's going to happen. and because they already on that whole ideology that Ryan Day can't produce an NFL quarterback.
But Big G, Justin Fields is not a bust. I mean, I think they might I think they might try a new coach staff before they get rid of Justin Fields. I think that Justin Fields went toe for toe and was a better player in the national championship or college playoffs against Trevor Lawrence.
Facts.
Justin Fields was better. He won like 23, 24 games at Ohio State in his 2 years.
Yeah.
Went to the playoffs both years. So, I mean, and he should have went before Trey Lance and who else got drafted before him? I'm okay with you taking Trevor Lawrence, but he should have went before Trey Lance.
He should have went to the 49ers.
Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson went number 2 to the
And Zach Wilson. Yeah. So,
definitely should have went to the 49ers. That was the place. If he went to the 49ers, they would have won the Super Bowl. My parting shot and my end here is you guys. Thank you for always, staying in the chat, being active. Remember, there are other programs that we do. I said do. There are other programs that we all participate in. This is home base. The KnoItAllZ is where it started, of course. So we want you guys to make sure that you like and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell somebody. We're trying to get to 400. Help us to get to that number. Also, we do the Cavs podcast, That's Rather Cavalier podcast. That is being done by my brothers, Tate and Big G. Awesome podcast. I'm definitely, and Relly Hall, I'm definitely there for it, behind the scenes, running everything, making sure that everything gets up because these guys got some awesome content they're trying to give you. There's friends. I'll get to the friends here in a minute. We also have the new podcast that Big G and Tate are doing called Pump Your Brakes. That's something that's done on Wednesdays. Make sure you're checking that out. Make sure that you are liking and subscribe. Bring some of the people from those programs over here and tell them they will love. If you love this, you like this, you'll love this. You know what I'm saying? Let them know we're definitely here. Also, the Homies podcast. And you got, the homie Pay. You got the homie B-Dirt. And, of course, you got Tate and Big G. And it's important. It's very important that you guys patronize these shows. Make sure that you're there. Make sure that you're loud in the chat. And bring some of the people from that chat over here to this as well. You know what I'm saying? B-Dirt, running through the jungle. Make sure you check that out. Pay got one. Pay, what is Pay's?
The Bear Claw. The Bear Claw.
The Bear Claw. Check that out. And then also, we are DC4L. We are Dallas Cowboys for life. That is definitely my program. You can check it out on YouTube. You can check it out everywhere that you get your podcast, man. We're all there. And we do this, man. We take up our time, not just so that we could, sit here and pontificate about sports, but we love it, man. We love sports. We love communicating with you guys. We love chatting with y'all. We love being a part of you guys' lives every week. Go ahead, G.
Man, I got a special announcement for the fans. I can officially say it for sure. I'll be starting a brand new podcast ran through FanSports Sports Network. I'll be an actual employee for FanSports Sports Network, and we're going to have a specific college football and college basketball podcast. I have my meeting here in a little while. I'll be working for FanSports Sports Network. We're going to branch off into every college place you can think of across the country. I'll be one of the co-hosts.
Ain't you been working for FanSports Sports Network?
Yeah, but this is something brand. This is a brand new endeavor. It's official. They sent me the letter and the offer and everything, and it's going to be. We haven't decided on the name. The name will come next week, but I have been offered the position, and I'll be official, full, like maybe almost like full time as FanSports Sports Network employee. So, but it's all about college sports, college football, and college basketball. All those other college networks that we have throughout the FanSports Sports Network.
Which I'm a part of. I forgot
we're going to try to channel.
The
Longhorns. We're going to channel everything through. Yeah, and I'll be the co-host for the show. Yeah, co-host for the show. So it's big time. And I got to thank Maud and Tate for the support doing this, because all of this all started with a conversation, man. Us on the phone and talking about sports. And you look up and Tate, you said it really good this past Friday. Look how we started and look where we're going. And the future is so bright, it's unbelievable, man. So us doing our thing, rocking with our fans, man, come on, man. It's time to level up and do what we do. And we appreciate it, man, for sure, for sure.
After you have a great idea, I just want you to know I'm going to go ahead and create a link tree, and I will make sure that I have all of the links to every show inside of the link tree, and then just share that one link so that everybody can go and find all of the shows. I think
Yeah.
that's a really great idea, and we will do it because a good Horns and Sons is one of those that I love. I mean, Sean loves all college football. I love my Texas Longhorns. Now, if you're gonna accuse me of being biased, there's where you're gonna find me being biased. I ain't gonna lie to you. I won't lie to you. I love my Texas Longhorns. I love them, and you'll find me being biased on the 40 acres. But for myself, for Big G, and for Tate, man, we thank you guys for being here with us. We thank you for partaking and being loud in the chat. We gonna get it, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. We out of here. Peace.